Rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation.
Happy
One
Saturday
step at a time,
to all
that's
of
how you
my
make it.
beautiful
Set a
coffee
goal you
beans.
control
Come on in
and
the
the steps
chat.
you
We've
take
got a
'em.
lot
I
to
try
go
to
over,
pick one
including
thought,
some
have some
breaking
concentration.
news.
And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they ride, Head full of flies, so here come the clouds, They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost, Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
And Laura's got some jokes up in the chat, eh? Okay, I see how you guys want to play this. Well, hello, my beautiful people. Hold on a second. I got to get that. That's on loop. Ooh, we don't like loop. No, thank you. All right. There we go. Hey, guys, we are back in the studio. No, we need a better applause than that. There we go. We are back in the studio. I love it. Good gracious. I don't know. We got to get out a little more. I got to tell you that. This trip about kicked Bullhorn Betty's butt all over the place. I don't let my butt get kicked too often. Okay? I'm just letting y'all know. I don't get my butt kicked too often. Okay? Occasionally I do. You know what? Occasionally I do. I hear something. Hold on. Let me mute y'all. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, I just got a call. If anybody was out at the, sorry about that. I didn't mean for you guys not to have to watch me take a telephone call. It was an important call. If anybody was out at the event, many of you guys know that we've reported an officer that had unprofessional conduct, flipping people off when we were doing an event out there in uniform, nonetheless. So I've got information. I need to get all that footage in. Okay, it sounds like we're going to be sending it over. It sounds like law enforcement actually has requested it. So if you were out at the event or you recorded the conduct or have footage of those officers that were out there, please send them to me. That includes Jen, Astrology for the Mystics, as well as Lady Freedom. So if you guys reach out to either one of those, let them know that I need footage. I'll also try to reach out to them later today as well and send all that footage to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. If you guys have been in my chat and you guys saw the thing happen with my own camera and you have that clipped, please grab that. Hey, Brandon, it's nice to see you. It was nice to meet you, my love. It was nice to meet you. So let's get into the show for today. We're going to be starting right off with the event yesterday, the main event on the 26th, rather. And the only reason why I'm showing you guys this segment of it, we're going to go over to the Nancy Guthrie case. We're going to talk about the urgent information. We've got some breaking news. We've got a comment from Zach. Zach worked at the automobile company that had just recently sold the vehicle to Luke. So we have some direct statements from that we're going to be breaking here in just a few moments. So if you guys are coming in, please come in. We're going to be breaking all that down. But this is very important because this right here is Brooke Harlan. I don't know her personally, but I can tell you that her and her entourage that showed up are beautiful souls. It seems like they really care about their community. They really are fighting for change. And they have some suggestions for changes that actually sound like they will work. And I think people need to start paying attention to some of the information that they are putting out there, to some of the initiatives that they would like to implement in the state of Tennessee. And, quite frankly, it's crazy because we have the things that they were suggesting implemented here in Florida. And I got to remember, not every state is like the state of Florida. And we have to really, really work extra hard to start advocating. The state of Tennessee is having all types of child problems, right? We've got people suing. We've got a lawmaker there that's actually requested the FBI to do a massive investigation into the Department of Children and Family Services. We told you guys 5 years ago we had problems in the state of Tennessee. We have worked around the clock putting a magnifying glass on the state of Tennessee for 5 years, for 5 blessed years, and it feels like nothing is ever getting done. And then these things start happening, and it's starting to be like, yes, this is not the complete solution, but this is definitely the step in the right direction in this state. And we're not even getting into the state of Arizona yet. So let's just move on with this. This is Brooke Harlan. I was very blessed to have met her. I was very blessed to have met her husband. I was very blessed to speak to some of the leaders that they had with them that are really trying to make a big impact on this community. And people need to be supporting people that are trying to make a good impact on this community. There is something wrong here. We are all seeing it. But the people inside that community, they can't see it. That's the insanity of this. Like, these people are literally ostriches. And they will never, ever, ever care until it starts knocking on their door. Because let's face it, Seth didn't realize how bad it was there until this started knocking on his door. And then he realized, well, we've been in the state of Tennessee for 5 years. 5 years. And it seems like nothing is getting done, but I have to remember subtle progress. Subtle. Some things are not instantaneous. Some things are subtle. Every single day, just chiseling away, chiseling away, chiseling away, chiseling away, chiseling away, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, one bite at a time. And I feel like that's what we're doing in the state of Tennessee.
Guys, we got a special guest. Come on up. If you guys don't know who this is Brooke Harlan, and she has a lot of followers. She's come out here to help support some of the initiatives, and she's wearing beautiful green for Sebastian. She's done an event.
And I got to be honest with you, I enjoyed and was so inspired by her and her friends that I think we are going to be sending her a thank you bouquet to her bail bonds agency, because they came from Nashville, folks. That's like an hour and a half drive for a perfect stranger. Like, these people, she didn't have to do this. None of them had to do this. Okay? I just want to tell you, none of them had to come over to Sumner County. They did it because they want to help inspire change, and not just any change, good change. And I've looked into this lady. This lady's a good Christian lady. I've seen some of the stuff she posts on her Facebook page. Okay, it's very inspiring. I really think her heart is in the right place. They want change. Everybody wants change. We want change. The community, some of the people in the community don't know they need change, but I'm telling you, you need some change. I'm just saying. That place is toxic. Like toxic. Anyways, I'm going to shut up.
At the courthouse related to corruption. You want to explain a little, because we know that there's corruption that exists in this county.
Oh, for sure.
And there's a good old boys club that exists in this county. And so we need to put a stop to it, because it's not only just affecting Sebastian, it's affecting folks all over the place here. All over the place. So why don't you tell us what your event was about several months ago, if I recall.
Yeah. So my name is Brooke Harlan Evans. I'm the owner of Brooks Bail Bonding, founder of Proverbs Innocence. What we do is we really try to come.
Proverbs Innocence. I just want to make sure I throw that out there, because I truly believe this lady comes of good heart, and she's here again for Sebastian. And I got to tell you, they were there fairly early, so they came out when there was a handful of people out there. In the afternoon, it got pretty rowdy, to say the least. We had a good turnout.
Come out and support the community, advocate for the people who are really victims of the systems, and speak out about the injustices that go on. A lot of people are too, I would just say, scared to do that.
We've said
Rightfully
that.
so, because they're worried about being retaliated against. And that is why we're here today. That's why we were here several months back when they wrongfully arrested and incarcerated an artist by the name of Young Buck, one of my nearest and dearest friends. We started bringing awareness to his case, and as we were going through the motions of that, so many people reached out to us and had experienced so many injustices, and it was just one person after another.
And now I'm one of those people as well.
Everyone cannot be lying about the corruption that goes on in Sumner County.
No.
They can't be lying about it. So many people have experienced this corruption and called for action to get these people out of here. People meaning these corrupt officials. And I think, like, the most important takeaway that I want you to take away today is you hold the power. You hold the power to vote these pieces of shit out.
Yeah.
And get some good people.
Amen.
Now, tell me she's not sounding like, like I said, I felt like I met, everything that I've been saying on this channel for a little bit is everything she's stating here. I mean, the only way we're going to get through this is voting him out. It's time to fire him. I'm done with diplomacy in that county. Okay? This child deserved better. He deserved a real investigation, and he damn sure deserved a sheriff standing up and giving us all of the factual information as they want the public to know it. You know what they did? Oh, you got to rely on official sources. What official sources? There are no official sources. Nobody's saying squat, so we have no idea what the information is. What official sources? I would like somebody to start, reaching out to the sheriff's department by phone. I think we need to start doing that. Maybe I'll start putting the number up on every show, and maybe the people that have questions can start making phone calls and asking them. What's the official statement from law enforcement? What is the official statement? Because the last official statement we had was from over a year ago. And this official statement was just to condemn misinformation, not really advocating for Sebastian, just shaming the people talking about him, once again, from this community. So, where do we go from here? What is the solution? How do we fix this? Because it's not just here, folks. It's not just here. By the way, if you guys would like, as you can see, it's from the main event, Hawk for Sebastian. Please go over there and check that video out. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Everybody, if you guys can do me a favor, we have 238 people in chat this morning. If you guys could go out, give me a thumbs up, come back in, let me know where you're calling from, where you're viewing from. You don't have to tell us your address, right? You can just say the state, the location of the state and the temperature, and that'll help everybody kind of get their feel of what the temperature is around this country. So I'm in Manatee County, and that's in Florida, on the west coast of Florida. And my temperature right now is a hot 69 degrees. I never thought I'd say 69 degrees is hot. But when you're in 19-degree weather in Tennessee, and this day was like 55 degrees, 69 degrees is molten lava to Tennesseans. So we're in molten lava again. Thank you, John. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. As you guys can see, my voice is still not completely back from this event. It still sounds a little horsey, or what may be. So you guys know that Nancy Guthrie. We're going to start with Nancy Guthrie. Like I said, I was going to go over there to Sebastian Rogers, and then we're going to pull back and go over to the Nancy Guthrie case. Nancy Guthrie, again, another missing person. These are from different areas. As you can see, one is from Tennessee and the other is from Arizona. What do they have in common? Incompetence. Incompetence is what they have in common. Incompetence has been what's the problem in both of these cases. And I think that it's important that we talk about that incompetence, because many people are very arrogant and egotistical. And when they hear incompetence, they feel like it is a club over the head or a punch in the face to them. In many cases, it should be, but in some cases, it should not be. What is incompetence from? Incompetence is from not having enough of like cases. So in the same sense of us calling them incompetent, sometimes it's because they don't have the experience, which is typically better for that community, no? Like, you don't have crimes that rise to this level where they are constantly experienced and, learning a lot of different things like we do. Like, we're pretty experienced in murder and homicide and missing children. We're pretty experienced in that because we've covered, at this point, hundreds, right? Over the last 5 years, hundreds of cases. Maybe not as in-depth as Sebastian Rogers, but think of how many times we've taken 5 or 10 minutes and went over several different missing person cases as we get here. And why don't we follow through with them? Because typically their parents or somebody close to the family have been arrested and the case kind of dies out. So that's kind of where we're at. And in the majority of our cases, and that we have to consider, because we've got, Ms. Guthrie over here, and we have to consider that most of our cases, the culprits are people that are known to that person, including but not limited to family, and sometimes close family. But it can also be distant family, right? Distant family. So I've been looking at both of these cases and trying to identify what is the common theme between both of them. And the common theme for me is incompetence in both cases. Incompetence in both cases when this case should have really been handed over to the FBI. Nancy Guthrie's case should have been handed over to the FBI immediately. And so should Sebastian Rogers' case. When you realized that you had the appearance of impropriety, like we have with Sebastian Rogers' case. She is pretty. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And I love it because she's gorgeous inside and out. All her friends are gorgeous inside and out. And we even got her husband, which I hear is pretty shy. He came out and spoke. So, we were just really blessed out there. And this was the day for Sebastian Rogers. And the day turned out amazing. You got to remember, when we first got into Tennessee, we were looking at rain all day on his day, Thursday, all day. And then we had a half a day. It was going to rain a half a day. And then by the end of literally the night before, we look at the weather and we realize that the rain's going to be gone at 6 a.m. in the morning. That means literally our entire everything can go on as planned, right? So it was just one of those things where we went from a completely soggy day to a completely dry and a wonderful event. So again, just blessed all the way around. And I'm so sorry that the people that came out did not get their Bullhorn Betty pen. I tried to order all this stuff, because we had some extra money, but none of the stuff came in on time. So I'm stuck with all this stuff to give out, and I've got no event to give it out. I know that this stuff will not. Hey, busy mama, it is so nice to see you. That is Tennessee weather. I know, but it was gorgeous. We were so happy. And I have to tell you that the mystery still rages on. If you guys don't know about the funny chicken salad story, I will tell you this is the last time I'm going to, well, I might have to say it again because somebody hasn't stepped up to the plate. I am still looking for the person I stole from, okay? I am not a thief, so you cannot, there was no intent, okay? There was no intent. But I was so incredibly exhausted, and I must have sat there and talked to somebody and laid my jacket down. And then when I left, I just picked everything and walked out the door. I don't know how I did it. Okay. I cannot tell you. I don't remember doing it, but I was exhausted, and we all went out to dinner. We had a great turnout. Let me just show you guys this. Like this, we took up 4 blessed tables. And this doesn't even give the event justice. Let me make sure it's okay. Doesn't even give it justice. We had 4 tables, double tables, all these people, and oh no, we had 6. 1, 2, 3. No, we had 4. We had 4. So there's all. So there, I was thinking we had 6 tables. No, we had a total of 4 tables. And that's double tables. So that's 8 tables of people. 8 tables of people that came to dinner. And this wasn't even the entire body that was out there at that street. And it's so funny because we were all kind of spread out. It didn't look that much, but when you put us all together, it's a lot of people. And so I'm calling up there, and I'm like, we need probably 20 people, and we filled up like 30 people in that back room of the, I am a chicken theft Betty. But you know what I find funny of all things that I steal is a chicken salad. Because you guys know I'm a chicken head. And everybody keeps saying, you got to quit saying you're a chicken head. But I am a chicken head. Just because you guys think it's something else doesn't mean I do. I just eat a lot of chicken. I'm just Okay, enough. Let's get back to brass tacks. So the incompetence aspect of this is the angle that unites both of these cases, because we have the same elements in both of the cases when it comes to law enforcement. This is a situation where they both should have been handed over to the FBI. And poor Nancy Guthrie, I mean, I believe that she was gone before she left that house, or in the process of being gone before she left that house. And that breaks my heart. But what if I'm wrong? What if she did have an opportunity at survival if they found her? And this hunky bunk sheriff dangled her life in front of her family and refused to let go. And I'm sorry, I don't know how I feel about that, but everybody's like, well, the there's a difference with an FBI being a resource and the FBI being the lead agency running the investigation. And that's where you guys need to understand there is a difference. Oh, the FBI's involved. They're so limited, and they're only at the request of the sheriff. So what does that mean? That means the sheriff's running the investigation, and he tells them, hey, can you do this, this, this? If he doesn't ask for this, 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 they may not be doing anything else because they're not running the investigation. They're only a resource. Big, huge, massive difference. And so standing ovation for thank you, Jen and Georgia. We appreciate it. Thank you. Both abducted. Both searches called off early, both taken in the night, but amen. Exactly. And wow, what a bunch of wasted time that might have. Now, we can't say it would have, because we really don't know. But might have saved their lives, right? We can definitely say may have, might have, use those words. We will never know whether either one of these individuals could have been saved. Why? because we had arrogant sheriffs that refused to get out of their own damn way in both of these cases. In both of these cases. So, like I said, we are going to be going over some, new information that we didn't have. This is a shout out. I don't want to, people send me stuff, so I don't want to violate anybody's identity, right? When we get some things, we're very appreciative for what we get. And when we're able to disclose them, we would love to disclose that. So here we have this conversation between Zach. Now, if you guys remember Zach is the person that worked for that, what was it, MG or ME or something, M something Motors. This was the Land Rover that was impounded and logged as evidence in the Nancy Guthrie case. It was associated with that Luke something or other, Luke. Anyways, and we looked at it and it's like, man, Zach may have been the person that could have been the mask. And we were all sitting here thinking bananas. Oh, that's what we need to call him. Nanos bananos. All right. Nanos bananos. Bananos. Sheriff Bananos. Bozo Bananos. Sorry. Oh, good gracious. I'm sorry. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Seth. I hope you're doing well. So this is a conversation back and forth between Zach and and most likely the individual that provided this to me. So all their pertinent information has been removed. So I wanted to just show you guys, it comes down to whether or not is this guy possibly associated or affiliated. He's an accountant at a auto dealership that somebody that purchased a vehicle from their dealership was raided and had that dealership vehicle that was just purchased impounded. I really, really, really don't think that an accountant at a dealership had anything to do with it. Just on the face of it, I just don't believe it. I can tell you, we all have those, when we buy a car, we have their advertisements all over the car. We have usually the person that sold the original car, and then if it's a resale car, you have multiple different, logos on it. You got probably the original one, and then you got the little sign from the resaled company so they can advertise too. You know how it all goes, right? You know how it all goes. Let's just take a side note. I want to say thank you again for the movement this past week. Aw, thank you. It was our honor to be able to come out and show the community that we have a missing boy still in their community. Maybe people in that community truly believe that this boy was found, but they know now by the use of horns that this child is not found. And we're thankful for those horns because you got to let the law enforcement body know that he still matters. He still matters. Everybody wants to bring him home. And the only people allowed to are law enforcement. Trust me. If Sheriff Betty was on the job, we would already have, let's just face it, we would already have some people behind bars with probable cause for child abuse, okay? Even if I didn't have enough to charge them with the disappearance, based on everything I've seen and heard, we have definitely probable cause for child abuse. So we know that Sheriff Betty would have had at least 2 people in jail for child abuse allegations. At minimum. Oh, that is louder than me. Sorry, I have my monitor down lower. There we go. Sebastian deserves better. All these cases deserve better. Let's face it. All these cases deserve better. Oh, thank you. Desi? Did I say that right? Desi? Is it Desi? Hopefully I said it right. I'm really bad with names sometimes. Thank you, True Crime Movement. I appreciate that. Epstein Islands comes to mind. Yeah. But I don't know for these, though, Mike. I don't know if that's really what I would say for these, because we're dealing with a 15-year-old boy, autistic boy, and a grandmother, an 84-year-old grandmother. I don't think they're quite island material. From everything I've seen and read so far, I don't think they're quite the material that the island prescribes to. But it says, I have too much messages about the same subject. The problem I don't know anything about, the problem is that I don't know anything about it. I know you don't. The whole thing is nuts. I'm not even inside the States. So this person's not even here from what it sounds like. They're stupid, bro. He says, which one is it? And then it says, honestly, that's crazier. So that wasn't your Range Rover. So they're asking, is that your Range Rover? So that wasn't your Range Rover. They need to get a life. So that wasn't your Range Rover? He says, no. I didn't own any Range Rovers in the States ever. So this guy, I don't even think this guy is even in the States. He's not saying in the state. He's ever in the States. So I think he mistakenly said, I'm not even in this state. He put an S on it, but he's not in the state of Arizona. So he's not even there. I think this guy is eliminated by a very, very tight alibi of not even being in the state of Arizona. So this is pretty interesting how he got drug into all this. I don't even own a Range Rover in the state ever. Wild, do you mind if I share this with JLR today and clear this up? The RR sold on February 7th to a guy with his mom. They bought it from MG Motors. So he's aware of the sale, which is good. And the people saw the plate cover mention MG Motors. So the people go online, found MG Motors Instagram account, then found another RR that I liked the post. So it sounds like, so no connection with MG, never worked for them, so he's breaking this down, didn't sell RR, didn't meet the buyer. I found my picture everywhere for no reason. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I want a pen. Oh, mama, I'll have to send you one. But now that it's not at an event, I don't know how much it's going to cost to send it. So anyways, we'll work it out, mama. Send me if you'd like to send me your address in the mail or by Gmail, and I'll see what I can do. Grave Crime with Grace. It's so nice to see you, love bug. I hope you're doing well. So now we're finding out the truth about this, which I was never really on board with it because, let's face it, anybody that's purchased a car know that they're very rarely affiliated with the person they purchased a car from. So, this was a person that had a license plate cover, much like what you would see on any used car dealership vehicle. So I wasn't really too impressed with that. And, everybody knew it was Luke. Again, I don't know. I kept saying, because the only name I found was Zach's. I didn't find any other, it wasn't until I think a 24-hour day that everybody's like, it's not Zach, it's Luke. I said, so that guy that was at the house is Luke. And they're like, yeah. I said, well, then where the heck did Zach's name come from? And then people were starting to tell me, and I'm like, why are people mistaking an accountant or somebody that works for an auto dealership with the saying that they have to be friends? I very rarely ever, trust me, it's hard to be friends with somebody that sells you a car. I'm not lying, okay? Because they are a greedy SOB. They cannot be my friend, okay? I'm just saying. You guys are bloodsuckers. We love auto dealers, but just don't mess with my engine, okay? No, I'm just joking. But, in reality, I don't know how this person came up. So is he really involved in this? I hardly doubt it. Based upon this, it's very, very, very difficult to believe that, he has anything really to do with it. And then, of course, we get here, we're looking for some, information. We're hearing about a vehicle. The vehicle looks very interesting to me. And this comes down to why I really don't like, Pima County, in Sumner County for that matter, because they never thought outside of the box. They never went that extra mile to get stuff done. And it's like, you guys are law enforcement. Why in the world, what does it say? It was Grace's chicken salad you stole. Grace, you got to send me, I stole your chicken salad. About time we find out who the culprit is. Grace, I do not know how I did that. 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 But apparently, I did. I was so extremely exhausted. I can tell you, I do not remember grabbing it. I do not remember setting it in the back seat. And I promise you, I handed it to the ladies and I'm like, whose food is this? They argued with me and said, you took it out. I said, I ate all my food at the restaurant. This is not mine. I opened it up and said, it's chicken salad. Who had the chicken salad? Because certainly it was one of the ladies in the front seat. I'm just saying, it wasn't mine. I felt so bad. Oh, okay. So now we found the culprit. No, it's not all good. I gotta buy you another meal. So the one of two things is gonna happen. You can email me your Cash App, or I'm going to have Sonia mail you a gift card. Okay, because she's the one with your address. I'm certain she has your. Does she have your address? I'm gonna find somebody that knows where you live, and I'm gonna send them a gift card to send to you. So you're going to take the money one way or another. I felt so bad. I'm like, and of course I didn't know whose it was. It went into the garbage. If I knew it was yours, I might have eaten it. But no, I'm just joking. I do not eat after other people. I'll steal your food. If there's a French fry on your plate, I'll take it. But anyways, I do owe you a chicken salad. I'm so sorry for stealing your chicken salad. I do not know how the heck I even picked it up or walked out of the restaurant with it. I really, truly do not know. But I am glad the mystery is finally solved. I can now officially sleep at night. I could not sleep at night. I would have saved the dog, the bounty hunter, a trip to Florida. Oh, it would have saved dog the bounty hunter. There we go. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. So Nancy Guthrie, as we're learning, had some interesting news. I like this. And it really upsets me that the canvassing of digital evidence, much like in Sebastian Rogers' case, did they ever go over to Kathy Bowersock's neighborhood and pull film from them? Did they ever pull, traffic cams from that night, from the Bowersocks to that house or in that morning? These are the things that really rub me the wrong way with law enforcement when they fail to do their job and then they hide from the public. So why is it so important to have press conferences? Because it shows you're not a freaking coward. It shows that you can sit up there and talk about a case and you can take it when you make mistakes. Eric Craddock and his team have made multiple mistakes. I can tell you that right now. And they do not want a press conference because they don't want people challenging them or asking them questions on these missteps. And so what they're doing is they're trying to strangle the case out of existence because they don't ever want anybody to know how poorly they managed this case. I believe that the investigator, I would like to know the age of Brandon Carter, because I believe he's one that does not have the right experience in this case. I would like to know how long he's been a homicide or a major crimes investigator. I would like to see those credentials. I would like to see his training. And this is where the people out there, and I'm working on legislation now, which is going to take a really long time to get through, but it's going to basically force all of these counties and states across this country, if you receive federal funds, you cannot block public records from other people that are looking to find out where you're spending your money. If you receive, you don't have to, listen, no, there's no requirement that states have to accept any federal funds. Okay, I want to be very clear. But those federal funds come from all of us. And when you take our money and then you tell us that we can't ask for public records, yeah, we ain't playing that. Okay? So at the end of the day, when I come into Tennessee and I've got to physically be present just to get public records from places that have taken my taxpayer money, I'm not a happy camper. Okay, I will do something about it. One thing you will find out is if there's a meat on a bone, I will gnaw that bone until the meat is gone. So I've always got something up. I'm a very busy person all the time. Why? Because you got to remember, I'm still activating for things we talked about 5 years ago, right? Getting the stuff through. And then every year we're adding more crap to the list, right? You're a ray of sunshine. Yeah, I am. Unless you're an incompetent sheriff, then you probably don't really want to. You probably wouldn't say I'm a ray of sunshine. You'll probably you probably call me other words. Probably not a ray of sunshine though. Does that include hurricanes or flood? Anything? If a state, you do not have to receive federal funds. Okay, if you want true sovereignty for your state, then get off the tit of the feds. Okay? If you're still asking, if your state is still saying, may I please have some of your money, some of that Florida money, some of that North Carolina money, some of that California money, if you're sitting there with your hand out in the state of Tennessee saying, I want, then you better answer for some questions, okay? You better answer some questions. Because I'm getting sick and tired that I can't sit here and find out what's going on with my tax funds in the state of Tennessee because of the way Tennessee's laws are written. So we're going to have to make federal law, okay? Like I said, I may not be able to move a whole lot on the aspect of the state. I mean, I do have some pool, a little bit of tiny amount of pool in the state of Tennessee, higher up the food chain. But when it comes to federal stuff, that's where we, the people, have the most flexibility to hold communities and states accountable. And I tell you guys that all the time. I've been telling you that for a really long time. That's how I work, is it that federal area. When you have to ask money when you have to get money from the feds, right? And you start promoting or supporting better policy, and they're saying, oh, well, we can send this money over here for this garbage, or we can send the money over here to this county for this because they need it better. So I'm the one that sits there and puts little things out, you know? I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes. And so they find paths forward to support other initiatives a little bit better. And that's how you start pulling some of that funds out. You show them that money's that needs to be utilized somewhere else in the state, and it goes to that other place in the state. So anyways, that's neither here nor there, but there needs to be policy about that. And this is where it comes in. Now we are here. We're at Nancy Guthrie's case. They failed to go further out. They failed to canvass further out. This is where they make critical mistakes because they are in their own way. At the end of the day, they spent weeks trying to locate a vehicle out the main exits instead of trying to determine what other routes could be taken to avoid the cameras. And if they did do that, guess what they would have done? They would have had a new area to canvass. It would have been a month later. But again, I truly believe if the feds were involved, this would have happened. Now, everybody's like, well, the feds are running a joint investigation. Who is running this case? Who has the authority to run this case? The only way we have the authority, the feds have the authority to take this case is if it's a kidnapping, okay? And they can rip that from that sheriff because they have the jurisdiction of it, okay? Let's remember that Sebastian Rogers is an Amber Alert. The only way you can be an Amber Alert is if you have been abducted, okay? If you have been abducted. So kidnapped. Why the federal government is not running, why the FBI is not running the Sebastian Rogers case is beyond me. He is on the Amber Alert. In my opinion, implies kidnapping. That would be their jurisdiction. That would be their jurisdiction. But you know what? Just because what's being presented to the public is not the case behind the scenes, and I think in both of these cases behind the scenes, the reason why the feds can't rip these cases from them is because the evidence proves something different than what's being presented to the public. Because if kidnapping truly was what both of these cases were, then the feds wouldn't need to be handed over the case. They could just go and take it, and they haven't. So the question is why? Why?
New details this morning in the search for the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie. This is video from a neighbor's Ring camera. Caught a dozen cars passing by the area of Nancy Guthrie's home the morning of the abduction. Some of the activity takes place around 2:30 a.m. on February 1st.
That's the one right there. And guess what they believe this is? Guess what they believe this is? They believe it's an SUV, and a light-colored SUV. Some even said that they believed it was a white Soul, which is a little interesting. Thank you again. Thank you again, beautiful, for all you do. I wanted to thank you. Thank everyone that came out and supported you, Seth and Sebastian. It was beautiful. What happens in the dark will come to light. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I truly do believe that. Oh, wow. Aw. Hold on, let me go. I think I missed a few people. I am so sorry. I did. I am sorry. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I missed everybody. Don't worry. I'll get you. I'll get you. Sending love to everyone on this Saturday morning. Prayers to whoever may need them. And don't forget to hit that like button for BHB. Thank you. Our other prayer warrior, Let Them 66. Good morning, everyone. Sending prayers to the ones that need it, and prayers to the Guthrie family. I hope Nancy is found soon. Glad you're back, BHB. Thank you. Oh, Michelle, I finally got to meet Michelle. Yay! It was so lovely meeting you and your sister. Thank you for making your way out there. I know it was an exhausting drive. You guys made it back. I think we both unloaded our cars this morning. Oh, it was exhausting. So it's nice to see you. Thank you for that gifted Bullhorn Betty membership. So whoever received that, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club, i.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straitjacket and your padded room and welcome aboard. Because I'm a love machine. Ow! We got Jen in Georgia says standing ovation for all who went. Thank you, me and you. Betty, thank you. Everyone did amazing. Everyone did do amazing. And then we got, thank you. I want to say Desi, but I feel like I'm not pronunciating it right. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. Mama, I want a pen. Send me your address. We'll get to see what we can do. It was Grace's chicken salad I stole. Thank you, Sonia. You're a ray of sunshine. Thank you. And thank you again, beautiful, for all you do. I wanted to thank everyone who came out and supported. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you. Without a doubt, we appreciate you. Okay, let's get back to this. True crime. Good morning, Betty. Hey, Debbie. It's nice to see you. Becky says jurisdiction should be under FBI because Liberty law, she's gone for more than 24 hours, which under this law assumes victims went over state lines. Oh, interesting. Is there any way you can send me Liberty law? Let me see what this Liberty law is. I've never heard because of Liberty law. Never heard Liberty law before. It's Liberty law. Liberty law for the missing, maybe? It seems like everybody has Liberty law as their name of the company. Personal liberty law in historical context. Missing person legislations focuses on protecting individuals from enforcement, disappearance, ensuring prompt investigations, and protecting the rights of the family. Key protections includes the right to know the fate of the loved one. Ooh, key protections includes the right to know the fate of the loved one, the prohibit of secret detention, and the requirements of state authorities to search for missing individuals. Ooh, we need to look into this. I'm going to hold that for a little later. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I appreciate that. So this car right here in the Nancy Guthrie case, I truly believe, I know people are dismissing it. I'm going to withhold some comments on it for right now until we get a little more information on it. but I'm hearing from TMZ that they're dismissing it. I'm not so. I haven't heard anything else from anybody else. I've tried to look to see if we have a statement from the FBI, because they post on X and stuff like that. I didn't see any statement from them. Let me just check again, unless they have another statement this morning, because it's Phoenix, Arizona. Let's see what we have here. Let me put this back up here so we got centered. There we go. While I do some investigative work here. Let's look for the FBI Phoenix. FBI Phoenix. There we go. There we go. Let's see what they have. All right, here we go. This is the FBI Phoenix. Let's see what we have here. So this is from February 24th, 4 days ago. It says the family of the missing Tucson woman is offering a private $1 million reward for credible information. They knew that it was going to spark some things. I'm not seeing anything here so far. We got some information from the 19th, which is almost, 9 days ago. Is that right? 9 days ago? Wow, they haven't been posting a whole lot. But nothing directly stating that they've received the footage from the cars. But see, Mike Ruiz, or Ruiz, I think is what Mike Ruiz. I know that Olivia called him Ruiz. So I've never heard his last name being Ruiz, but since Brian Enton calls him Ruiz, I will call him Ruiz. But anyways, Mike, he went out there. He ended up looking at possible, what FBI should have done, right? Or the local authorities. They should have looked at paths of travel and paths of avoiding cameras to get out of the neighborhood in a situation like this, because it does look a little planned, in my opinion. There is a casing of the joint. So if he would have been at the house to case the joint, you bet your ass he would have been at the house to look at possible routes to get out away from the house. So for them not to be looking at all paths that this car could have went to leave that community is just, it's angering. It's just angering. It's frustrating. It's angering. It's head hitting on hard surface issues. Like, what in the hell are you doing? Where the hell did you guys learn to investigate if you're not looking at all paths of travel for a person? To hear a community, this was what happened in Summer Wells' case, and what infuriated me, all that work, TBI, FBI, all this, and they didn't even go to the other side of the freaking mountain. There were people that had information about the stuff that they heard coming out, because whenever you're screaming on one side of the mountain, it's echoing on the other side of the mountain. Okay, and we had a peak on one side, the Ben Hill side, and the people on the other side of the road, of the other side of Beach Creek Road, up in their holler. They heard a lot of stuff from the Wells, and guess what? The FBI, the TBI, nor the county police ever even went over there to talk to them. A lady pulled up while we were out there outside on Beach Creek filming, and she came up and she started telling us about what was going on from the Wells house, and I said, you guys heard that? And they're like, sound travels. And I'm like, and they're like, the words that they use, this constant screaming and fighting that they do, they can hear them. They can hear everything on the other mountain. And did you know that FBI, not one law enforcement, we were there 9 months later. 9 months later, not one law enforcement ever went on that other side of that Beach Creek Road to investigate anything. And it's like, what the hell are you guys doing? What are you doing? Are you guys stupid? Sometimes I want to ask people, because it's not the workers. It's not the ones going out there and getting the information. It's the people that are directing them to go out there and get the information. The idiots above them. Those are the people I have a problem with. Everybody keeps thinking I don't like law. I love law enforcement. I love law enforcement. But I also know the chain of command. I know how it works. Okay? And I know that the idiots at the top of the food chain are probably the dumbest. Absolutely the dumbest. And that's what frustrates me. So we got the blind leading the blind in many of these cases. And so that's the way I feel about Summer Wells' case, too. Maybe I should have put her on the page, because it applies to all of these people, right? It applies to Nancy. It applies to Sebastian's case. It applies to Summer Wells' case. The incompetence. And some of that's intentional incompetence. That means they're willfully doing it. Willfully. Much like Sumner County. Willfully. It makes me wonder why they don't want the feds up their craw. What's going on in Sumner County that they want to keep the feds away? I always ask that. When a county is hell-bent on keeping the feds out of it, it makes you wonder why. How truly corrupt are they? I believe they're more corrupt than we think they are. And that's what I think that's one of the reasons why many of them don't like turning these cases over. Because I think there is a level of corruption just in about every one of these small communities. You either have what it takes to get the job done or you don't. And if you don't, send it on. Okay? We need to start condemning law enforcement that holds these cases and makes it 20 and 30-year cases. These people deserved justice. These people deserved justice. They deserve justice then. They deserve justice now. We got a case in Tennessee right now that was 30 years old. And my first question is, how many people failed to get out of their own way for that case as well? And that baby went 30 years without justice. Shame on all of you. Shame on all of you. Some cases just are tough, and I get that. Nancy Guthrie's case, now that's a tough case. Summer Wells, Sebastian Rogers, they're statistics. They're a statistical exact makeup of what the statistics on parents injuring children are about. They are the poster child for those types of cases. So those are not, in my opinion, baffling cases. Summer Wells is not a baffling case. Sebastian Rogers is not a baffling case. Nancy Guthrie's is a baffling case. Now what we have is incompetence, unwillingness to take criticism, doing their job properly. They've already screwed up the crime scene for Sebastian Rogers. They kept it open. They John Benet Ramsey'd Sebastian's case. They John Benet Ramsey'd Sebastian's case. And we believe they did that to Nancy Guthrie's case as well.
Which is around the time Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker last synced with her iPhone. FBI telling Fox News that some of its operations and the search have been moved up to its Phoenix office. And KLD in Tucson is reporting that the 84-year-old's home, which has been considered a crime scene for nearly a month, will be returned to the family either this weekend or sometime next week.
26 days since the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie in Tucson. The 84-year-old was taken from her home nearly a month ago.
And there's been no arrests so far. Very few public leads that we know about, but the internet has been fraught with speculation. Many people accusing other family members or those close to them of being the suspects.
And again, I do want to say that in typical cases, statistics identify that it's somebody known or very close to the subject. Because really, let's face it, people that don't know you, unless they're just mentally ill, they don't typically want to hurt you. You haven't hurt them for them to want to hurt you. So for somebody to get so angry that they want to take your life or injure you somehow, well, that has to be an emotional reaction. And you don't have emotional reactions to strangers. Typically you don't. And again, unless you're mentally unstable. So we're looking at somebody that knows this family, unless, this is the big caveat with this case, she has a very well-known daughter, Savannah Guthrie, very famous, I wouldn't say ultra wealthy because I'm sorry, having a net worth of $45 million to me is not ultra wealthy, okay? I know people that have a hell of a lot more money than that, okay? Corruption's got to go Craddock, yeah, and Bananos. We're going to call them Bananos because he's gone bananas. He's gone bananas. Nano's gone bananas. So Annie Tomaso's car still impounded. How are they cleared? Is it still impounded? Because everybody else got their car back. I thought it was just to be processed and provided back. I have a funny feeling. I don't want to make this, I mean, this is just an opinion of mine, but I have a funny feeling that they've received that vehicle back at this point. The only way that they would, in my opinion, have kept it at this point is if it did warrant some evidence, you know? And, you know, I don't know how to put that. I also heard a rumor, and I don't believe that, and I think it was Abby Blabby. She found something and she posted it, and she put the caveat that she doesn't think that it's real, that it's truthful, you know, whatever the case may be. But it was somebody that had basically said that Annie and Tommaso were pressuring Nancy to hand over power of attorney to them. Let me tell you guys something. I hate to break this to you. This whole estate has been pre-planned a long time ago. Okay? I can tell you that whatever is in place is already in place. There is no need to have a power of attorney. One is probably already executed. One is probably executed for an attorney to be a power of attorney, or one is executed for a family member to be a power of attorney. But I doubt, you know, when you get in, people don't understand, when you have higher net worth, people do planning. I mean, when you start getting up to higher net worth, you're already planning, okay? This is an area I used to be involved in very, very much. I used to sell insurance products. I used to sell annuities. I used to do estate planning in part for a lot of these people that are making decent money. I mean, that's how I made my money once upon a time. So it's like I said, I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I never knew what I wanted to ever do. And so I figured if I could just have an education in law, an education in accounting, an education in medical, an education in, you know, other different products, I figured I could always be employed no matter what. I never knew what I wanted to do. I mean, I literally every 5 years would change jobs. I'd get burnt out and want to go do something else. I don't know if anybody else was like that, but I've done a lot of stuff in my life, you know. And the only things that really stuck for me was construction and this, you know, everything else, even working for attorneys. I'd worked for this attorney for several years. And I think I worked for Amstar. Well, they changed their name to Alliance. I think I worked for them for like, I don't know, maybe a decade, maybe 8 years. And I don't even think it was that long. I think it was like 8 years, 6 or 8 years. And I worked for other attorneys too. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's the way I look at it. And believe it or not, a lot of that experience, just having some knowledge of all this stuff, that's helped us work through some of this stuff. But I can tell you, people of higher net worth, they're doing planning long before they retire. Okay. And I know that to be true because I had a lot of clients that were just like that in the planning phase, you know, getting the medical, you know, the medical surrogate, the healthcare surrogate. We had the, you know, so we sent them, I had attorneys that I worked with to send them off to attorneys to have them do their wills, estates, and trusts. But all those things were done years in advance prior to retirement. Years in advance prior to retirement. So for her to be 84 years old and then this just now start doing estate planning and wanting to be the executor of estates and, you know, having the power of attorney and stuff like that, I don't see that being the case because it seems to me that she would have an attorney or some other mechanism taking care of that. But, you know, there is possibility just because of her net worth, but there is a possibility that they would have done that. And I would have already thought that if they chose, if it was going to be a family member, I would assume that it would already be Annie or Tommaso because they're the ones that are the closest to her. And that would be helping her with her day-to-day stuff to begin with. Everyone has been calling Nanos Butterfingers. Slips right through? No. I don't know. Wow. So we're going to be calling Butterfingers. Nanos, Butterfinger Bananos. I just, I think at the end of the day, that's our coping mechanism because we're so frustrated. I think that it really, because I can tell you, I'm super, super frustrated. I'm frustrated over Sumner County. And then them say, oh, just what do they say? Misinformation. Don't listen to the misinformation. Only get your information from reliable sources. What reliable source? I'm going to keep coming back to that comment that idiot judge, or idiot Sheriff Eric Craddock, Mr. Snuggle Struggles. Okay? I want to know he had an opportunity to write down a press release and explain all of the information, all of the facts of the case, and he chose not to. He gave, we had an officer out there give the father a middle finger while we were out there. But really, Eric Craddock is the one that gave that middle finger to Seth Rogers. Eric Craddock is the one that gave that. And you know what? And that's exactly why his officers think that they're empowered to do that to that father. I think it's time for us to start letting the sheriff's department know how we feel. So we are going to start phone campaigning. We're going to start phone campaigning to let the sheriff know that we demand a press conference. And so that's what we're going to start activating. We're going to start an email campaign. We're going to pressure this sheriff, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We did it for Summer Wells, and we're going to do it for Sebastian Rogers. And if you guys remember our initiative for Summer Wells, it's one envelope, one stamp, one piece of paper. Everybody can afford one envelope, one stamp, and one piece of paper. We are going to be hitting an email, we're going to be hitting a paper mail, and we're going to start making phone calls. Okay? That's how we are going to. The games are over. If you guys want to be Sebastian's army and want to start helping, well, we need to start activism. Okay? We need to start doing things that are diplomatic, that are going to stress. Okay? That are going to stress them. We need to do that because they have a duty to the public that they are failing. He wants to shame social media and this misrepresentation, but who's misrepresenting information? Maybe the person that's not even speaking about the facts that we need to know, right? If we actually had somebody that wrote out what the facts are or posted what the facts are, what are the facts? Because certainly the facts have changed since April of 2024. And if they haven't changed, then that's even more of a reason why this man needs to be fired from his job. So what are the facts of this case that we, the public, have a right to know? We don't even know because the sheriff sucks at his job. So is this going to be the same for Nanos Bananos? I guess we're only going to find out, but we definitely know this is the case for Eric Craddock. And it's time for us to start lawfully and legally holding this community accountable. And they haven't been held accountable. It's time for us to start. So we are going to start our campaigning very, very soon. Probably next week. I'm going to draft the one-page letter. We'll start getting that out so you guys can download it, put your name on it. You can write concerned citizen on it. It doesn't matter. We're going to start sending those letters off to the sheriff's department in the droves. We're going to have a lot of people from across the world that's going to participate in this initiative, bringing those letters in. But something has got to be done. If you are disappointed in the sheriff, if you are sick and tired of Eric Craddock disrespecting this boy and disrespecting this boy's father, as well as the community, please rise up and help me hold them accountable. Please. I'm going to ask that the content creators, Smiley's World, Justin for All of you, I need your support. Pascal. This is completely lawful and legal. We deserve answers for Sebastian. We should all be coming together. Obviously, mainstream media out in that community doesn't care about this boy. Otherwise, they would be doing something to hold the politicians accountable. And we see that they barely even hardly wrote about Sebastian. Go look at that. 2 years this child's been missing. We should have had 30 or 40 different articles for this boy. Go count them. We have 10. And actually, there's not 10. There's like 3. Actually, there's probably 2. There's probably 2 that has been choppy. You know why? Because WSMV, the reason why they took that whole interview down is because it wasn't making them enough money. So they had to choppy and put it out into 15 million parts so you guys can consume it, you know, so they can make more profit. Sebastian is nothing but profit for these media organizations. And they don't even care to profit off of him. They don't even care to speak of him because it makes them look bad and it makes their politicians look bad. They've been backing their politicians. We're going to be holding media accountable as well. Media, you haven't met Bullhorn Betty yet. Let me tell you something. This is what's going to ultimately happen. Because when this boy is found, we're protesting the shit out of all of you. Out of all of you. You want to know why? Because you have blood on your hands. This case should have been handled a lot better. You should have been asking why they did not close that house down as a crime scene. You should have been asking why they did not close Seth's house down as a crime scene. This is what the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children directive state. You guys failed to tell your audience that. You failed to tell the locals that. You protected these bad doers. You protected their bullshit investigation, and you covered their ass, and you continue to do it to this day, and we're sick and tired of it. This boy deserves to be found. This boy deserves to have you sit there and open your mouth and hold those politicians accountable and ask them the tough questions, and you fail each and every day. Media out there in Tennessee and Sumner County and Nashville fail this boy along with the politicians and along with the people that are dedicated to protecting him. We need change. We need to rise up. We need to start holding these people accountable and demanding a real investigation for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers and the hell with the corruption and the cronyism going on in Sumner County. And we need to be getting into their DNCs, into their GOPs, and we need to start fixing the problem from within. They've got a cultural issue. They've got a disgusting history, and it's time to start correcting it. And we need the people and the residents of Sumner County to start getting a backbone and stand with us while we fight for you, to liberate you from this injustice, from these people that are robbing you blind. Every time that there's cronyism in your county, every time a person is corrupted, it costs you, the taxpayer, money, more and more money. Look at that courthouse. Whose friend got that contract? And how many more millions of dollars did it cost you? Those are the questions you should be asking yourself. That's why corruption matters. That's why we need to get it out of this area. These people are doing you wrong, and they're robbing you blind and keeping you ignorant to it because of your local news. Your local news is not even doing investigative journalism anymore. They're pandering to the politicians. They're lying and manipulating all of you. Your own media is doing that. Your own media is doing that. So stand with me as we help you fight and take your county back and really restore order back to the people of that community and across the state of Tennessee. That's what we need to do. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, kind to one another. And please do not forget to do an act for Sebastian, an act for a perfect stranger. And you guys will make this world a little bit brighter, at least for a day. God bless.